Recently, I heard about this theory that's being proposed. It's called the Yeti theory for the existence of God. Now, I'm not talking about coolers or cups to keep your drink really cool, but I'm talking about Yeti, that supposed mythical animal that lives in the Himalayas, something like a Bigfoot-like creature. There are people out there that claim that they believe that there is such thing as Yeti, this Bigfoot-like creature. There's others that say, well, we don't believe that's true. There's no evidence. In other words, show us material evidence that there's this Bigfoot animal somewhere in the Himalayas, this giant creature of some kind. And so the new atheists turn to Christians and say, hey, your claim to believe in God is a lot like those people that claim they believe in the Yeti or Bigfoot. Provide evidence for your God. Well, you see, there's a fundamental problem there, a fundamental misunderstanding about reality. I would say those atheists and those people that claim to believe in Bigfoot have more in common than, say, an atheist and a Christian. Because an atheist and a Christian have a different view of reality. Let me explain what I mean. If a person believes in the Bigfoot or Yeti, they believe that there should be evidence in the material, physical world in which we live. And an atheist would agree with that. There should be physical proof in this world that Yeti exists. But as Christians, we know that this is not the only world, not the only realm. There is another realm. It's called the spiritual realm, and it's just as real as this realm. And God, the creator of all things, resides in the spiritual realm. Now, that same God can interact with this physical world, but God lives in the spiritual realm, and it would be silly to say, well, give me physical evidence of a God who lives in a different realm. But here's the good news. That God who lives in the spiritual realm entered into our space and time in the person of Jesus Christ. Yes, God became flesh. He became the God-man. Jesus of Nazareth walked around this planet, incarnate in flesh. He worked miracles. He inspired a movement that changed the world. But the greatest sign of all is his tomb was found empty. He was crucified by the Romans 2,000 years ago. That's a historical fact. And another historical fact is his tomb was found empty. And the best explanation for the empty tomb of Jesus Christ is he was raised from the dead, the greatest miracle of all, never to die again. And that's good news for us. So I proclaim to you today, there's a God who's all-powerful. He entered into our existence through the person of Jesus Christ. He died for our sins, and he was raised again, never to die again. I want to invite you to our church, Westgate Church of Christ. We worship every Sunday at 10 o'clock, and we worship that true and living God. We give praise to him for creation, and we also give praise to him for the redemption that we have in Jesus Christ. So we'd love to see you at Westgate. We worship every Sunday at 10 a.m.